What's up, guys? We're here at the Pretty United Expo at the M&R booth with Bill Christensen. How's it going, Bill?
Good. Good to see you again. How are you?
Good. Bill, what do we got here? I mean, actually, I know what we got here because we looked at this in Atlantic City a couple months
Absolutely.
ago, but it was not like this.
No, changed a lot. We actually brought it out to a beta site and really worked it hard to find out what we could improve, how we could make it more efficient, how we could make it go. We've downsized the entire machine so it's about a foot narrower. We've upgraded all the heat presses so that now they've got a real lot of downforce with bigger cylinders and bigger support rods, so now it doesn't flex when it transfers, so it really upgrades the process and makes it go. It's running, right now we're running at about 320 pieces an hour, so it really will get you those transfers out the door as quick as you can.
It's 320 pieces an hour, how many operators?
One.
Just one operator?
One. Absolutely.
Wow, so can we walk through the whole thing?
Absolutely. So he's going to load the shirt. Once he loads the shirt, it's going to move over to the transfer press. It'll grab that transfer, put it in place, and it's programmable from the main control panel. What I mean by that is he can set the distance of when he's going to pick up the transfer and where it goes on the platen itself, but it also has 3 recipes that are programmable in there. The recipes mean you can have a setup to set it up the standard way, and your 3 standard sets of transfers will be loaded and heat pressed the same exact way. So now if you go to your heat presses, it'll set the temperature and the time at each one automatically from that recipe. It's all about setup. It's all about how quick can you get to the actual finished good. So it load the transfer, now it's going to the heat press. The heat press will come down. In order to get a little bit more activity and get it going, it's got a secondary motion down there, so it'll hold it down and not raise it all the way up, so it saves a little bit of time. It doesn't have to go all the way back up. It's just coming up and going down. So it's half motion. Again, it's about speed and getting to the process. And back-to-back heat presses to keep the time down.
Yep.
Then it's going to go to a cool station. We don't really use the cool station for a whole lot other than just to be able to make things go. And then you've got your peel. That peel, when we set the distance on the load, it's linked to the unload so that it moves it automatically. So once you get that recipe, you set that to recipe 1, it'll come out the same distance here as it does there. So just, again, it's about fast setup and go to the next step.
And is this changeable? Like, can somebody say, hey, I want a pre-press?
Absolutely. So what we just talked about, we've had a lot of people come to us and say, what about if I don't want automation? We can take the automation off, and then later on, if you'd like to, it's re-addable.
It's modular.
So it's modular. It's really modular. We've also had a lot of requests for a pre-press. So some people want to pre-press their shirt itself to get some of the moisture out. We can add a heat press over there. We've also got a movable station that will have lasers. So if you want to take the load off and you want to be able to use those lasers for placement on a transfer, you can do that also.
Now, Bill, we saw this again around 6 months or so ago.
Yep.
When we saw it, that platen would end around here,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
How much has that been huge for you guys?
It's huge. I mean, that footprint is a big deal depending on what you're going to put in your shop, and it makes it go. We also added these gussets, and we've added gussets down on the bottom of the arm. The idea is I don't want any flex when I transfer that to make sure it's getting a rigid push and make it go. It's about the pressure on that transfer to make it durable, make it go.
And if you guys haven't seen, we made a video touring M&R's facility in Illinois where they manufacture all of this equipment.
100%.
I remember learning on the tour, like there's 30 feet of concrete going down.
Absolutely.
So you can make these and have them be perfect. I mean, it was crazy.
That center carousel is milled and machined so that they can bolt together so they're exact. So when you put them together, it makes it go.
And that's the M&R difference.
Absolutely.
You know, we're never cutting a corner. But one thing you really mentioned that I like, it's funny how even with us with software, we think our customers and people know, but you really need to put it out in the field.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite shop owners is Same Day Tees, pretty close to you guys.
Yeah.
I know they've done some of this kind of stuff too.
Absolutely.
So I really like that M&R works with your longtime clients, gets that feedback before you rush something to market.
So what we don't know, we don't know. And we learn from people. You know, look, over the years, Rich and all the rest of the guys here at M&R have always made it so that we learn from customers. You know, the idea is they go out and run it. They use it every day. They can tell us stuff that when we design it, we may not know. we need that feedback. We love the idea of learning from people who use it every day to make it better and make it go.
You ever have like, told you so?
Once in a while. Not that that would ever happen, but yeah, once in a while. No, lots of them. People who run it are looking for a simpler way to make it go. They want to make their life easier, and they feed it back to us, and it's great.
And you want a simple product to operate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We don't want something too complicated. And that's why people like DTF, let's be honest, screen printing's a lot more complicated of a process.
100%. And that's why it's taken off. It is such a simple process to get into, how it works, make it go. And the whole machine itself is set up with all these features and benefits to make it again go. Up on the peel, I've got a lot of people. It has 6 suction cups here, and I want to be able to go back up there, and I want to make it so it's going to peel a smaller transfer. I can turn those suction cups off, because when they come down, if they're not on the actual transfer itself, you lose vacuum and it doesn't pull as well.
Yep.
So I can turn those off in groups to make it so it works with a smaller one. You said we lost a foot in the footprint. That's huge for people.
It's big.
It's huge. And to get it that way makes it so that it's more durable, it's more efficient. At 320 pieces an hour with one loader, you can probably replace 2 or 3 transfer operators in the back of your shop.
So let's go some of those specs. Around 320.
320 an hour. It's about 13 feet in circumference. You go back down, and we can get 110 PSI straight down on the plat. So we measured that. We knew that was super important to make sure that we were driving that transfer into the shirt to make it so it was durable.
Yep.
So yeah, and the nice thing about it is we have that modular system, so we can make it go that way too. Again, automation for us. The DTF will do a lot of transfers. You got to get them onto the shirt, and when you got to do that, we needed to be able to automate that whole process. We added an XY cutter in front of it, so now you can standardize the size of your transfers, automatically cutting them too.
Bill, how much, I know we have different setups and so forth, but what are we running?
The base price of this machine right now, as it sits with the automation, is $79,950 plus crate and install. It's a great deal, and we're running a tremendous show special here because this is really the launch of the machine.
Bill, been walking around the last couple days. We're seeing more and more carousels. What would you say? Why look at this above the others?
Well, the same reason you would look at M&R anytime. Service, support, technicians, the availability to get 24-hour service. Parts are here, and it's made in the United States.
I mean, I knew blue was strong, but then when I actually toured the facility, it was pretty eye-opening. And if you guys didn't know, it was Roselle, right?
Yep, absolutely, Roselle, Illinois.
They open their doors to anybody who wants to tour their facility, check out their really cool showroom where you've got all these toys hanging out.
If you ever need to do that, feel free to come up, reach out to your rep, reach out to the office. We love people to come up and see what we do in the factory, because it really is eye-opening.
It is.
And we have all those machines in that showroom to look at things, to run tests, to see them, see how they work, see how they fit in your factory.
The QC, I remember really taking away from that from the tour, the way they really went through everything.
They go through every piece of equipment, soup to nuts, because when it gets to your factory, you want it to run and make it go.
Absolutely. Well, Bill, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys, M&R speaks for themselves. I'm not going to say go blue, because last year I did, and then my Buckeyes lost to Michigan. It was like the worst decision.
Different blue.
Different blue. But guys, check out the Orbiter, M&R's whole lineup that automates DTF, screen printing. It's all about automation these days, Bill.
Automation's a big deal.
Yep. Guys, check out the Orbiter.